So tonight we're going to do a lesson video on something specific for the ladies, okay? And what we're going to do is operate based on the premise that you're in some sort of social scenario, a domestic, a date scenario, something where a guy is being beyond inappropriate in terms of the way he's touching you and trying to get close to you and trying to be physical, right? I don't want to get too much into the legal here, which I'm happy to do on a personal level. You can on a private level, you can call me, you can text me, you can email, whatever. Happy to go down that path. But for this, I'm going to keep it simple. So it's really more about the drilling. But just keep in mind that I don't want anybody to train with the mentality, especially ladies, that you have to wait until it's too late to react. And so I don't want you giving the guy the benefit of the doubt ever, okay? Once he's touching you beyond a way that you're okay with and you've made it clear verbally and physically, and he continues and enhances that, it's now time to fight, okay? No questions asked, all right? And before I bring Patricia in to go through the training part of the video, I want to highlight another two things. One, we don't train pre-packaged responses ever, all right? So we don't have a thing we do as a plan against a certain attack that we can just hope to rely on. We don't do that. Especially if it's a plan that involves multiple steps that happen in a sequence. We don't train that way. So even in a drill like we're gonna do tonight, you're gonna see a few things that happen in a row. It's not that we train them to do it exactly that way. It's that we're just trying to practice certain variations and permutations of movements being put together. But ultimately, whatever happens after the thing that happened before it only happens naturally via the way we react to what happened. So example, I throw a right punch at my opponent, and if I'm gonna throw the left punch after him, it's only because of what I saw and reacted to as a result of the first punch. And if it made sense to do that next, that's what I do. But if something else made sense, that's what I do. The next point, overly targeting the groin is an issue in self-defense and martial arts. Now, I want to make sure that I'm clear. Targeting the groin is good, okay? It's good to hit the groin. And it's an option. And it's often a very good option, but it's often not the best option, nor the first option. So it can become like almost like a disease mentally for your training if you're overlooking other stuff and being just overly trying to get there, okay? So while it's good, it's not the only option. Let's just keep that in mind. So, come in. What we're gonna do, it might seem a little bit absurd, but we're just going to do it anyway. We're just going to go based on a social situation of dancing. All right, maybe you're on a first date, maybe gosh, I hope it's not beyond that, but maybe it's somebody you know, maybe it's somebody that's you just met on a dance floor, whatever, in a social situation. We're going to use that as our posturing, but keep in mind it doesn't have to be that exactly. It could be really any scenario where you're close quarters with the person, all right? So, we're going to start here. All right? You guys can have a little fun with this too. You can actually dance a little first if you want. We're not going to do that because I don't want to embarrass myself. But you're going to start here, and we're going to go based on, let's move over a little bit, on the premise where the guy has already been too handsy, too aggressive, maybe leans in for an unwarranted kiss, a grab, a pulling in, grabbing somewhere you don't want. She's already told him via body language and wording, which you must do, please do. She's already told him, no, this is not cool. And he's not acquiescing to her wishes. And then he's enhanced what he's doing. So we've now gone from a social scenario to a violent scenario, all right? And ladies, I want you to act quickly. Do not give him the benefit of the doubt, ever, all right? So, even though I'm not going to do all those excessive actions, like trying to force her into all this stuff, assume they're being done. So we have a very simple training start point to the drill. And it's where I pulled her in too closely, not okay. So we're gonna start by her creating a little bit of space by bumping me with her shoulder, because that's the part that's touching me. Okay? All right, and the reason for that, it gives her a little room to operate. And just for this drill, we will start with the groin. A knee right to the groin. Okay? And sometimes that's the right thing to do, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's the best thing, sometimes it's not. For this one, let's just start with that, okay?
Okay.
So we're in close, she bumps me, gives her a little room, the groin, the knee to the groin, and then let's assume his grip is tight on her hand because he had gotten really aggressive. So that hand's not free.
Mm.
She's gonna take the other arm and elbow me. Bam, I'm sitting right there, okay? So let's do that from the other side. That's the first two strikes. Knee to the groin, elbow to the face. Pretty good start. All right, so she bumps to create room. Okay, there's the knee. There's the elbow. All right, and now from here, I'm gonna have her take, just for this drill, there are other joint locks to do. This is not the only joint lock. I'm not even saying it's the best joint lock, but it's definitely a valid option. So, bumping, knee, elbow. Look at my hand. She's gonna take an inward wrist lock and move that, okay? Now, before we detail the lock, keep in mind a person's grip, especially with a size difference. You know, assume a person a lot bigger than me. Always assume that, right? Versus a person her size. She's not gonna outmuscle me. It's not gonna happen. It doesn't matter how good you are at your locks. It's not gonna happen, okay? Until what? Until we loosen their grip, right? And how do we loosen a grip? We hurt them, we stun them, we stall them, we damage them, we distract them. Anything like that. Great way to do some of those things? Hitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
The knee to the groin. It's a visceral response. The elbow might not do crazy damage, but it's doing something. And so maybe some of that grip on the hand, which might have been extreme strength on it, is a little loosened. And now it's become somewhat pliable for her to manipulate. All right?
Yes.
So let's go to it. Bumping, groin, elbow. Now on the inward wrist, the technique part. Right? She gets the hand, turns it. There's two things happening here. For this is kote yaneri. Those of you who know your jiu-jitsu, that's the term, but inward wrist lock. She's twisting the hand, which is what engages the shoulder a lot. But she's also including a gooseneck, lighten up a little bit. She's also including a gooseneck, and that is where she takes the palm and presses it toward the forearm, where it doesn't naturally go. That's why we do it. So she does both of those things at the same time, and that's what turns the body. Okay? Let's do the other side. And then she's gonna kick me in the face. Okay? We don't often target the head with kicking because most of our kicks are low line because they're usually more direct and lower risk. But in this case, she's brought my head down. So why the hell not kick me in the face with her shin bone? All right? So she bumps, right? The knee, the elbow, inward wrist. Okay, here we are. I'm down here as she continues cranking that. My body moves in this manner. There's the straight kick, right to the face. Keep going, right? And by the way, you can do that 4 times if you want. Ultimately, this will end with her putting me on the ground, face planting me to finish the altercation. But the finish is always the easiest part. It's about getting there, or there will be no finish. Okay, at least not in your favor. Let's do that again. Okay, so from the top, she bumps. There's the knee. There's the elbow. There's the inward wrist lock. There's the straight kick. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. That caught me a little bit. Okay, so let's do it again.
Okay.
So bumping, right? The knee, the elbow, inward wrist, and the straight kick. Okay. So before we close this out, keep in mind 2 things. They're both safety. 1, I recommend using a focus mitt when you're holding for the straight kick. Okay, so you don't take one to the jaw. 2, groin protector. I'm currently wearing one. Don't know if you can see. Okay, I'm wearing a groin protector, an exterior one outside of the pants. That helps just give your partner a little bit of peace of mind when she's doing her knee practice to the groin. She's not trying to actually touch me with it, but at least it gives her a buffer. It also gives me peace of mind. Okay, training.